See, next question is about recession and depression. Okay, so another important term. Okay, so we have discussed earlier that Indian economy is facing both cyclical as well as structural slowdown, and if this slowdown persists for a longer period, we say that the economy is in recession. Okay, so that is a big issue. So, before understanding this concept of recession and depression, again, depression is much more severe economic impact will be having. Okay, so we'll discuss what is recession and depression. Before that, we will just have an idea, the economic cycle. Okay, this figure is very important. Okay, the y-axis shows the level of real output, that is GDP growth, and x-axis is time period. Okay, so this figure you can see that this cycle, if you look into this cycle, okay, so this period, okay, this is peak, means economic activity is the highest. Peak means economic activity is high, means whenever the economic activity is high, there will be more employment generation, more investment will be coming, etc. So these are, so peak means economic activity has reached its peak. Once the economic activity reached its peak, what will happen is, it will, this is see, okay, after reaching its peak, you can see that, okay, economic growth slowing down. Okay, so this is what is called as recessionary cycle, and it will reach an end. Okay, this is what is called as trough. Highest level is peak, lowest level of economic growth rate is trough. So this is starting point of recession and this is the ending point of recession. And once it reaches its trough, that is lowest point, the economy will start to recover. It will slowly increase, the growth will slowly increase. So this period, this slowly increase is called as recovery, and it will recover and slowly growth will be started growing, and again it will reach its peak, and again further the cycle will go. So this is actually, I told you, this is actually cyclical slowdown also, which happens at regular intervals. Okay, so have an idea, recession will start from the peak and it will end at trough, because from here onwards it is recovery. So this economic cycle, you just this knowledge you keep in mind to answer the coming question. Okay, so we'll see that what is a recession and then a depression. So a recession is a period of decline in total output. Okay, a recession is, so pre-recession there will be a slowdown. Okay, so first the economy will face the lean economic activity in the form of slowdown. After slowdown, if the slowdown persists continuously, then we say that the economy is in recession. The definition of recession is, it is a period of decline in total output. Understand, total output is GDP growth, total output, total GDP. Okay, so there will be, in recession, there will be decline in total output or national income. There will be decline in the income of the people. So there will be decline in total output, there will be decline in income, there will be decline in employment and trade, and usually recession will last over this is a normal definition. Okay, recession lasts for 6 months to 1 year period. Normally recession lasts for 6 months to 1 year period, and it is marked by widespread contractions in many sectors. Many sectors of the economy, there will be contraction, that is negative growth rate. In many sectors of the economy during recessionary period, many sectors, maybe agriculture, manufacturing, construction, industry, generally industry, in some sectors, a service sector, there will, so these are different sectors of our economy. Okay, so many sectors faces contraction, that is negative growth rate. Okay, so usually it lasts for 6 months to 1 year period. Now due to the monetary and fiscal measures, it can recover. Okay, so be very clear with the definition of recession. It is decline in total output, income, employment and trade, lasting nearly for 6 months to 1 year, and marked by widespread contractions. Okay, so basically recession, we have seen that cycle. Okay, recession is the contraction phase of the business cycle. In the business cycle, recession is what? Contraction cycle, and we know that recession begins after the economy reaches a peak of activity. Okay, after the economy reaches the peak of economic activity, the recession begins, and ends as the economy reaches its trough. So we already discussed that. I'll show it again. Okay, it starts from the peak and its end at the trough. This is the economic activity at the peak and its end at the trough. Okay, and regarding depression, this is another important definition. Okay, depression is a prolonged period of economic recession. So normally we say that a recession lasts for 6 months to 1 year, but if recession persists, continues for a longer period, if economic recession continues or persists for a longer period, marked by a significant decline in income and employment. Okay, so what is depression? It is for a long period, for a prolonged period of economic recession. Depression is a prolonged period of economic recession marked by a significant decline in income and employment. Okay, so this you need to keep in mind. Okay, normally during the contraction phase, okay, when the GDP started slowing down, so normally it shows the signs of slowdown, decline in economic activity, and if that persists, it will goes to recession, and if the recession continues for a longer period, it will move on to depression. Okay, so depression is much more worse than recession. Okay, it will have huge impact over the economic, and so this is currently, if you see, our economy have seen slowdown, and due to this COVID corona impact, many sectors of the economy is showing contraction, so that we in the financial year 2021 we will see a recessionary period, and we have to see that whether this recession will continue for a longer period. If it continue, we say that we may even move on to depression. Okay, so this is a very tough phase our economy is facing, so these concepts are very important for you. Now we will solve the question. A depression is a prolonged period of economic recession marked by a significant decline in income and employment. It's the correct statement. A recession begins just after the economy reaches a peak of activity and ends as the economy reaches its trough. From that business cycle, we have seen that what is peak and what is trough. So second statement is also correct. Third, a recession is widespread economic decline. A recession is widespread economic decline that lasts for at least 6 months. We know the time period of recession, okay? At least 6 months to 1 year period. So third statement is also correct. So your answer will be D, 1, 2 and 3.